sick of love songs, I'm tired of this, and I wanna tell you straight just like it is. You're watching me like you want me, but you're still holding back, still holding back. Honestly, you're annoying me with the way that you keep playing. Show me your love like it is, like it is. Bend open my heart like you're fearless. Steal all the gold you can get, you can get. Show me your love, leave me breathless, breathless. I'm out of patience, I'm out of feels, but I guess I'm waiting around for something real. I'm going crazy, like what's the deal? 'Cause I want you to show me what you feel. You're watching me like you want me, but you're still holding back, still holding back. Honestly, you're annoying me with the way that you keep playing. Show me your love like it is, like it is. Bend open my heart like you're fearless. Steal all the gold you can get, you can get. Show me your love, leave me breathless, breathless. Show me your love like it is, like it is. Bend open my heart like you're fearless. Steal all the gold you can get, you can get. Show me your love, leave me breathless, breathless.
Well, hello, my fellow Brooksaholics. How are you guys? So, Pat, I was reading through the chat. It looks like Debbie, you made the peanut butter cookies last night with the recipe we gave you. Did you like them? I know you did because they're so good. That recipe is like no fail. As long as you don't burn them. Sometimes I like to overcook them just a little bit, but the other thing I like is like this. You could just. I like to make them small though. That's kind of like for me. That's kind of the best way to make them. I'm so glad y'all are all here. My mom is in the live with me. Bethany, which one's your mom? I love it. You guys are teaming up on me. Okay, you guys, Sharon sent me an email about some kind of flipping off here. So, all right, well, hang on. Let me see if I can find. Let me check my email real quick because this might be something we all want to watch right now. Did you send me the link so we could watch it, or did you just say I don't see your email? Hang on, let me go in and see if it went somewhere else. No, I don't see your email, Sharon. Hang on, let me go to spam. Oh, why does Frankie want to start making all kinds of noises when I go on stream? You guys, why is it always the big dogs that make the noises? It's just so y'all, it's not me, it's him telling you. There's no telling what he could do while we're on stream. Giving you guys a heads up, disclaimer. They were great. You added oats? Is it raining in Minnesota? Okay, so you guys, they've got that house. So they found a property where that guy's penned up, and you think they've got him. I'm gonna give you the email address right now. So y'all think he's no longer with us? That's what I was thinking. He's that typical one that would do something like that in Maine, and then go off and leave a letter, you know, so he could get the last word, but not take accountability for what he did. Oh gosh. Hey, hey, Harry, Sydney. Oh no. It has been. It's been a year since the trial, you guys. The trial was going on this time. Elite City School. Oh no, a ladies coach from the Elite City School. Oh, that's horrible. That is horrible. Okay, I'm sorry. I was just y'all. I'm just catching up on your chat. I don't even act like I got people waiting on me to stream something. That's so horrible of me. Okay, hang on. Let's get started, fellow hee kiki club members. Wait, where's this at? Right here. That's what I want right there. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh, and he's gonna be sad too when he comes in, you guys. He's got a sad heart. He's all like, "Oh, poor is me, poor is me." Did I hit the play button? I did. Okay.
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated.
He's just not feeling very well. He's a little emotional. That's what he said. He's a little emotional.
All right, we are. Oh, let's get all of our audio on. All right, we are back on the record. It is 1:07 p.m.
Oh, cool, Garrett.
Appearances are as they were previously. Mr. Brooks is in the courtroom. He is in jail attire.
Can I get a hee hee
that
and a
is his
kiki in
choice.
the chat because he's a little
and-
emotional right now?
I
Okay,
don't know if
I'm gonna have
there's
to look
anything
at
the
that,
state
Harry, because
wants
I don't
to
know
address at this
anything
point
about that
before
area
we
or anything.
continue with testimony.
No,
Just
thank
want
you.
to check. All right, Mr. Brooks, anything you want to address at this point?
Yes. Yes, Patty, it was. Well, they had
It's
gone
hard
to
for me to
lunch
see his head.
an
He's
hour
bent
later.
over, but I thought I saw him shaking his head. No, but I'll ask one more time, Mr. Brooks, anything you want me to address before the jurors are brought out to continue with testimony from witnesses?
Just a little emotional right
Oh, Lori.
All right. Let's bring the jury out. We'll
Oh,
continue.
you
I
guys
presume
are
the state
cracking
has
me
a
up.
witness available. We do. All right. Thank you.
Oh, Carter. Garrett. He's controlling the moment. Yeah, he's controlling time in the court as much as he possibly can. You're absolutely right, Kajito. It's like, I just need a minute. Guys, I just need a minute. I'm going through it. Whatever.
Mr. Brooks, the jury is headed out, but
Did he just say
going
subject
to
matter
hold off on
jurisdiction?
that, and at the next appropriate time when they're not on their way in, I can address whatever it is. Or if you want to pass
Debbie
me out, you
said,
can do that as well.
a hee hee and a kiki. I gotta stop talking so y'all can watch this. Muffin Top? I know another Muffin Top. I wonder if you're the same Muffin Top. Look at you guys. He all right with his little pin insert. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to look that up, Harry, because that might be something like I don't think we any of us have heard about it over here. Yeah. Just a little emotional, Brandon. You could put chocolate chips in it. I just like it plain. I just like the peanut butter cookies plain. I got a great recipe for a banana split cake too. Oh my gosh, it's to die for. But it's a lot of butter. Bluesy, what's going on with you? Hey, Kathy. You're not that late, Kathy. We've been hee-heeing and kikiing. Oh, Debbie, she's got that eye drop case right now. And I had a couple of you guys that said y'all went in on it. Y'all
Great,
went to
thank you,
check it out,
everyone.
but it
Please be
wasn't,
seated.
it was kind of boring.
And good afternoon to our jury. State may call its next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state calls Officer Jeremy Phillips.
All right, good afternoon, officer. If you would please make your way to the witness stand, which is to my right. When you get there, please remain standing, raise your right hand, and my clerk, Teresa, will swear you in.
I love pineapple upside down cakes, but I wouldn't mind checking out what you got going on there, Bama.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony
It's that
you're
time of
about to
year.
give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and
Should
nothing
we
but
have
the
a
truth,
members
so help you
only
God?
where we exchange recipes?
Thank you, sir. Please be seated.
I'm down.
First thing I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names for the record and spell each.
My first name is Jeremy, spelled Jeremy. My last name is Phillips, Philipps.
Thank you. Go ahead, your witness.
Thank you. How are you employed, sir?
I'm employed with the City of Waukesha Police Department.
And how long have you worked in law enforcement?
I've been in law enforcement for a total of 14 years next month.
All with the city of Waukesha?
I have about 5 months with the City of Dodgeville Police Department in Wisconsin. The rest has been with the City of Waukesha.
All right. Sir, I'd like to direct your attention to the date of November 21 of 2021, please. Were you working that afternoon?
I was working that afternoon, yes.
What was your duty or assignment?
I was assigned a normal patrol beat, squad area 216 with the City of Waukesha on a 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. shift.
Were you aware there was a parade taking place in downtown Waukesha that afternoon?
I was aware that there was a Christmas parade downtown Waukesha.
Were you directly assigned to work the parade?
I was not assigned to work the parade.
You said you were one of the officers that was just involved in general patrol of the city that afternoon.
That's correct, yes.
Okay. I'd like to direct your attention to time around 4 o'clock or 4:30 in the afternoon. Do you recall getting dispatched to Frame Park?
I do recall being dispatched there, yes.
Do you know the exact time you were dispatched?
I believe it was 4:52 p.m. approximately there.
Okay. And where is Frame Park located?
Frame Park is rather large, but it's generally located in the downtown area off of White Rock Avenue and Baxter Avenue.
What was the nature of the complaint you were responding to?
I received a complaint to respond in emergency fashion, which means light and siren, for subjects fighting in the park with a knife allegedly involved.
Where were you coming from?
I was in the patrol area of East Moreland, roughly at East Main Street at the time. And that's where I was responding from.
Was Main Street shut down at the time for the parade?
Main Street where I was responding from was not, no.
Okay. I guess let me ask a better question. Were you able to travel along Main Street to get to Frame Park? From where you were located to get to where you needed to go, did you travel on Main Street?
I did not travel on Main Street to get to Frame Park.
Okay. And which direction did you come in from then?
I came in on Eastmoreland westbound to White Rock Avenue westbound.
And as you approached the area, could you see individuals associated with the parade?
Yes, I could, as I neared the vicinity.
What do you remember seeing?
Thank you, Penny.
As I neared the vicinity of White Rock Avenue at Baxter, directly in front of me appeared to be a unmarked patrol vehicle, silver in color, which was blocking the roadway at White Rock Avenue and Hartwell Avenue. And I believe off to the side, I could also see a marked patrol vehicle.
Could you see any floats or people participating in the parade?
At that particular time, as I arrived in the vicinity, I did not. I just saw the side of a squad car with emergency lights activated. It wasn't until a little while later I saw that there were floats and such on the other side of that patrol vehicle.
The silver colored SUV with lights, red and blue lights activated. Do you know whose squad car that was?
That belonged to Sergeant Dave Warner.
I'm drinking
Where did
coffee,
you
y'all.
go?
When I arrived to the area, initial dispatch information stated that this alleged fight involving a knife was somewhere in the vicinity of the Schutze building where the boat ramp was. Based on my training and experience of that vicinity, I know that the boat rental checkout is on the back side of the Schutze building. So that's the initial area I responded to and where my attention was drawn to.
This time, Your Honor, I'm going to ask your permission to put up Exhibit 1, which is the map of the area we've been working off of.
Permission granted. Yes.
Y'all
You
are
see
so
that item
funny.
in front of you, Officer Phillips, on the screen?
I do now.
Okay.
Oh, it needs to be public. Hold on. Thank you. Sure.
So that is a touch screen in front of you. If you want to draw or circle or anything like that, you may, or you can just simply talk. I'd like you to identify for us where you came in.
All right, y'all, give a shout out to new member Bethany Jean. She's now part of the Hee and the Kian Club. Woohoo!
To the area.
Well, it's not really blowing up. So
No, if you want it blown up, we can blow it up from our table. Sorry. We'll zoom in.
if you wouldn't mind, where it says Frame Park in the upper right-hand corner, that would be, looks like the vicinity that I probably responded to. I would need to see a bigger image.
Is that good?
That will suffice.
Okay.
So I responded in a direction on White Rock Avenue, coming this way. This now is Baxter Avenue, which I would have made a right-hand. That will suffice.
Okay.
So
No,
I
why it keeps
responded in a
skipping?
direction on White Rock Avenue, coming this way. This now is Baxter Avenue, which I would have made a right-hand turn onto. And right about in this parking lot area is where the Schutze building exists. And then
Lori's
there would
your
be a
mom?
boardwalk and some trails behind that where the boat ramp would be.
Okay. And you drove in that area first, right?
Correct.
What were you looking for?
At that time, I was looking for anybody suspicious that may be involved in a fight, somebody carrying a weapon, somebody that might have been battered and bruised or obviously injured or in need of help.
Okay. Did you see anybody?
I did not.
Did you drive around a little bit?
I drove around in the parking lot of the Schutze building. There was another officer already on scene who, from my understanding, was already on foot in and around the vicinity of the Schutze building and advised that they could not find anybody at the Schutze building.
Okay. Officer Phillips, do you see White Rock School on this map?
I do, yes.
Could you put an X on White Rock School?
White Rock School is this elongated building right here. So I'll draw a large X through it.
Okay. And you said the roadway running parallel to White Rock to the north is Baxter?
Correct.
Okay. And Baxter is the road closest to the river. There's no other roads that run along the river there. Just like a walking path or something, correct?
Show.
Okay.
We love your mama,
Another officer's out on foot. What do you do?
Bethany.
At this point, the officer came over the radio and stated he could not find anybody in the vicinity. I was listening and monitoring the radio, and at some point, what I thought was a reserve officer came over and said that they were speaking with a couple of subjects potentially involved. So at that time, I got on the radio and said I was going to attempt to meet with the caller, because I didn't exactly know who this reserve officer was speaking to, how many subjects were involved, if they were actually involved or just a witness to the situation. All of that information was completely unbeknownst to me, so I decided I should probably go meet with a reserve officer and figure out who these subjects are and what the involvement was.
John.
This reserve officer was working as part of the parade, is that right?
He was in the vicinity right at Sergeant Dave Warner's location.
Okay. So did you drive down there?
I started to drive in that general direction towards White Rock Avenue and Hartwell, which is where Dave Warner and Reserve Officer Trout would have been. Before I could fully reach that intersection, there was approximately 3 subjects off to my right-hand side on the sidewalk that were yelling, screaming, and waving, like flagging me down. The way that they were doing this, they appeared to be in distress. They appeared that they needed immediate help, and certainly appeared that they needed to speak with somebody in law enforcement.
Can you put a small X on the map in the approximate area where you met up with these 3 individuals, or they were waving at you?
It would have been about halfway between Baxter and where Sergeant Warner's squad was parked. So again, this is going to be an approximation.
Thank you,
but I'm gonna
Stacy
put
B.
that X right about here.
Okay.
Y'all start talking about his grossness
So,
again.
I
Y'all-
assume you pulled over.
I pulled over, I rolled down my passenger window, and 2 of the subjects started yelling that their friend had been assaulted. So it was right at that point that they started trying to tell me that their friend had been assaulted, that information came over the radio on the primary dispatch channel that something had happened downtown and somebody had been hit. So at that point, my attention started to get a little bit diverted, because hearing that on the radio is not something that just happens every day. That perks you up pretty quickly to figure out, that could be a serious injury, that could be more officers needed something that affects. That took my attention away briefly. As I looked back at the subjects, they started to again say that their friend had been assaulted. So I said, hold on, let me pull over so I can get out, so I can speak with you directly in person and figure out what's going on. I pulled my squad over.
Yep. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I pulled my squad over. I exited my driver's side of the vehicle, came around to the front of my vehicle when a short black female who was wearing what appeared to be a blue coat and blue jeans walked in the front of my patrol vehicle. There was 2 other subjects that were with her, and they started to indicate that she had been assaulted by a boyfriend of some type. I started to talk to the female who had the blue coat on, and I said, okay, well, what happened? Who is this person? And she tried to downplay what happened. She didn't want to be cooperative. She made comments to the effect of, nothing happened. It was just a verbal argument. I'm fine. I just want to leave.
Did you see any injury on her?
So at that time, I did. The 2
Garrett said he's upset because his rap video is crap.
subjects that were with her tried to tell her that they said, no, Erica, you need to tell him what happened. And on it, she had an obvious black eye on one side of her face. The other eye also looked like it was swollen, but it was appear that she had facial injuries that were obvious.
You said they referred to this person by the name of Erica. Is that right?
Yes.
Did you eventually ask this person for her name?
I did eventually ask for her name, yes.
What did she tell you?
She told me that her full name was Erica Patterson and that her date of birth was 10/7 of 1990.
Okay. And were you going to investigate her complaint further?
I was attempting to investigate the complaint further, yes.
And then what happened?
So as I was speaking to this woman who identified herself as Erica, along with the two other people that were with her who I did not identify, the calls on the radio at that point were 1078 after 1078 after 1078.
Okay,
And
what does that mean?
so 1078 in law enforcement jargon is officer needs immediate assistance right now, all available units. As that was being called multiple times, other people were coming on the radio and stating there were subjects down in the street, then it was 10 people down, then it was 15, then it was to 30 or 40. And I had to make a decision at that point, speaking with the subjects, particularly the one who appeared to be involved and the most injured, who was not being cooperative with me, that the greater danger and the clear and present threat that was happening downtown had to draw my attention. I had to leave.
All right. The events that you've described for us so far, are those all captured on your squad video, sir?
Yes,
And at that time in November of 2021, were you wearing a body camera?
I was not wearing a body camera at that time.
So you had a video recording device in your squad car, correct? But when you exit your squad, it's no longer recording your activities unless you can be seen on the camera in front of the squad, correct?
I have an audio recording device on my person that is synced and connected to my squad exterior windshield camera.
Okay. And that camera in your squad is stationary, is that correct, sir?
Yes,
Okay. Eventually then, do you leave the area where you're speaking with Erica and the other two individuals and go to Main Street?
I leave the area. I tell her I'm sorry that I had to go. I went down White Rock, navigated float traffic, went down East Main Street in a westbound direction, and eventually came to East Main Street at Barstow Street, where I exited my patrol vehicle.
Okay, I'm gonna ask. Oh, yes.
I want to
Before
play
move
some
away
kind
from
of game at
Exhibit
some
1,
point,
could we
Barbara.
Please get a screenshot, Madam Clerk, of the drawings by Officer Phillips, and then I'm gonna ask to switch to Exhibit 6, please.
So for purposes of the record, I believe I'm at 1C for the capturing using the annotation feature.
Think we agree with that? Yes. All right, officer, you see, we've now put Exhibit 6 on your monitor. It's not yet displayed for the courtroom. Do you see Exhibit 6 on your monitor?
Yes,
Do you recognize this, or do you want us to play it for a few seconds?
I recognize what I'm looking at.
Okay. Do you believe this to be a truthful and accurate recording from your squad video that afternoon, sir?
I haven't listened to it at this point, but I would believe if it's from what I'm looking at, it would be accurate to my squad video, yes.
Okay. And you ultimately saved your squad video and submitted it to be used as evidence in this case, correct, sir?
Yes, I did.
All right. And this is a clip from that squad video?
It appears to be, yes.
Okay. Move to admit and permission to publish Exhibit 6, please.
Mr. Brooks, any position on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grounds we haven't seen what's in the video.
Your objection is noted. It is overruled. Exhibit 6 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
All right, so for the record, this clip is about 6 minutes long. It exactly ends at the 5:59 mark, but we're going to play it through, Officer Phillips, and I may ask Ms. Gussie to pause at times so you can kind of describe what's going on in the video. But if you can just orient us what we're looking at right now, please, before we start playing.
So this is an orientation. This would be White Rock Avenue facing a southwesterly direction that would go directly to Main Street. This right here is Baxter Street. And then what you're looking at on the right-hand corner is White Rock Elementary School.
What about way down in the distance? It looks perhaps like it's a church steeple.
So you can see what looks like the church steeple down. That's going to be Main Street down there. And particularly of note, you can see what looks to be a silver-colored car in the center of the roadway. That is Sergeant Warner's unmarked SUV patrol vehicle.
Okay, now,
I'd just like to make a record when he was pointing and saying this, at least initially, he was using his right hand pointing to the roadway that's depicted in the still of this video image. He also said over here, or this is Baxter. You can see about midway in the frame a street sign, and there's a street that intersects. That's where he was pointing to, that particular street. Again, I believe that was Baxter. I believe the rest of his comments comport with the record and don't need further explanation or at least verification by the court. So
Candy
go ahead.
corn
All
will
right,
never
thank
be
you.
the same. Thanks a lot, Show
Okay, we're
Poodles.
gonna
We all
go ahead
appreciate
and
that,
start to play. We're
especially
at
me
the
and Debbie.
0 mark right now. Where are you going now? Pause, please. I'm sorry. 9-second. We're pausing. Go ahead, officer.
So what you're looking at here is Baxter Street. And right off to your right-hand side, I get that pointing at things with my hand isn't necessarily ideal. But the building over here is the Shootsy building. Where those squad lights are there is the parking lot of the Shootsy building. There's at least one officer already on foot in this vicinity of the Shootsy building where the alleged knife fight with multiple individuals were involved.
Okay. And I see, looks like red and blue lights there in the middle of the photo or the video.
Correct.
Whose squad is that?
I know one of them is Officer Nick Hendrickson.
Okay. And is that the officer that you were referring to earlier when you said another officer was also trying to help you find these subjects involved in the fight?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Off to the left, it looks like there's a bunch of cars parked there.
Correct.
Is that general parking available to the public?
That is general public parking for the Shootsy building.
Okay. All right, we're gonna go ahead and play again.
For the subject of it or claiming that this fight happened. If they were at Hartwell and May with the reserve officer.
Are you driving on Baxter now?
I am driving down.
The two subjects, walked down towards the White Rock School, Hispanic male, Hispanic female.
Pause it, please. Whose voice was that, if you know?
I'm not going to say I know 100% sure on that.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. Play.
216, no 1060. I will meet with the callers. That's okay. Slow everybody down. I don't see anything resembling what we reported. I got it. All these expenses for you. Just here.
Pause. It's a little hard to see, but on the right-hand side, did you see the individuals walking down the street there?
I did. My squad just passed.
I'm sorry,
but
sidewalk. Yeah.
About 2 seconds prior, there were 3 individuals who were walking down the sidewalk. These are the 3 individuals that flagged me down on the passenger side of my car.
Okay. Go ahead.
I love that he said that. Welcome, Crystal, to the Brooks Aholics Anonymous Club.
What? Black guy, red SUV, just assaulted our car in the park.
This guy, he not hit me. So they come talk.
You guys involved with a knife or something?
We can check you.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
I've already been slashed with the knife.
Let me pull over here.
Yeah, we can.
216, I need another at Hartwell and White Rock. I have another person reported they assaulted. Okay. White Rock, Hartwell, White Rock. Okay.
Right now we're just talking. Nothing is happening. There's no life, nothing. They call
Okay. Shots fired, Wisconsin and West. I'm checking for injuries. There was someone running through the parade route at a high rate of speed. 1078. Okay. 102. Yeah, 1078. We have about 10 to 15 people down in the street. Who assaulted you? Who ran? Do you have a weapon?
We have multiple subjects down. 10 to 15 people made in gas fire. Repeating, made in gas fire, 1078.
I didn't call. You gotta handle that fight. Okay. What is your name? Say your name. What's your date of birth? So 10/7/1990. Erica Patterson. Okay. Okay.
I copy 1078.
Well, my name is 552. People's Park, female, not conscious, not alert, not breathing. King County, nobody here available now. 102 has got multiple critical fractures. We're doing CPR on an individual at 369 West Main Street. Got an unconscious, unresponsive 5-year-old. I'm trying to get him in the vehicle again.
Was that you running away from your squad, sir?
That was me running away, yes.
Okay. Go ahead and have a seat, please. It was a little bit difficult to hear when you asked Erica Patterson who assaulted her. Did she tell you a name?
She did not, no.
She did not provide you with any names?
She did not.
Okay. You had her name and her date of birth, and that was it at that point?
That's all I could gather before I had to burn out of there as fast as I could.
Okay. Now, when you got to Main Street, where'd you go?
When I got to Main Street, as most of you probably just saw in the video, I took a...
Hi, who needs to know? Thanks for coming in. By the way, this is a commentary channel. So what we do here is we talk and chit chat amongst each other. So since you don't like it, I'm going to go ahead and put you in timeout. And then if you do anything further, I'll just ban you from the channel. It's easy as that.
Gesture to him. I did not, unfortunately, write down the juror number. I know what the juror looks like, but I couldn't associate it on my chart. Do you recall the juror number?
I'd be guessing. I think I know what it is, but
Okay.
I don't want to be
Sure.
correct on that. But we can have the civilian bailiff provide us with that information.
I don't know if we want to do, have that juror come out just to confirm. I know that the juror told the civilian bailiff who informed the court. Our concern is we certainly don't want Mr. Brooks to keep raising issues with regard to specific jurors. And, we start using those alternates up. So I guess I'd prefer it to be on the record that juror was not at the initial appearance. I know that the three of us were at the initial appearance. There was an older woman who did, I ended up talking to her during the proceeding. She was not the juror that was described yesterday or that I saw yesterday with the clothes that Mr. Brooks indicated she was wearing. So I just really would like that to be put on the record that juror, in fact, was not at the initial appearance, and have her come in, provide her name, and do that. Or the juror number, not her name, her juror.
So my understanding is that following what Mr. Brooks described happening at the initial appearance, there was a woman that one of the deputies spoke with and warned her. It's my understanding that woman may have been in the gallery on Monday and was warned about behavior then. I have issued an order. She is not allowed back in these proceedings because of that. I believe we know her identity, and I can tell you with certainty it is not our juror. So, and if there's anything else, any other requests, I don't think it's necessary to bring that juror out, given that record. But I will certainly do that if the state feels, or Mr. Brooks, that that's important for their understanding or confirmation at this point.
Yeah, and I think what would be important is to note if her pool number is the first 41. Mr. Brooks actually was in court on day one of jury selection. I know for a fact. I'm in looking at my notes. It's unclear to me if he was present at any time in day two of jury selection. I know he was in day one. So his claim that he was unable to see the juror at the time, obviously if it's a juror from day one, he was able to see her because he was in court with her. So that would also be something, I guess, if we could establish that she was part of the first 41, then I think the record is clear that the defendant was in court when the first 41 were brought out, and therefore he could have objected at that time.
Annie, you hit it on the nail on the head. No response whatsoever. And you guys heard that. Did y'all hear? I'm not playing it again, but
I will get confirmation of the number, and we'll go from there as well. Any requests as relates to that, Mr. Brooks?
Before I get to that whole issue, Your Honor, if I may, I would like to state for the record, and would like the record to reflect that I personally don't identify by that name. I am here as a third-party intervener in that matter, appearing as an authorized representative for my client. I accept for value, in return for value, all the charging instruments in this matter, and make my exemption available for discharge of all obligations and charges connected with this case. I do not dispute any of the facts in the charging instruments.
Your statements are noted for the record, sir. All right, as to the issue of the juror.
thanks, guys. I appreciate your support.
As far as the issue of the juror, I was maybe briefly present when the first wave of jurors were brought in. I didn't recall really being in here long enough to really get a look at the jurors coming in, because I was removed at that time. Actually, either they were coming in or shortly after they were brought in, I was removed. I definitely was not present for the second and third wave. I was in the other courtroom, so it would be, I can't see the jurors from the other courtroom on the monitor, so it wouldn't possibly be that I would have seen the juror that I was referring to yesterday.
Understanding that that may very well be true. My recollection is you were removed pretty quickly due to an interruption early on. I don't have my notes in front of me as to when you were brought in or not. But I am advising you that I was able to confirm with others, including law enforcement, that the juror that you suspected was the
Wait. Hang on, guys. I don't know what I just did. I don't know what I just did. I think I hit the wrong button. Hang on. I apologize. Stick with me. Please don't go anywhere. I hit the wrong button and I guess I jumped to another stream. My apologies. Because I know that we're... You guys, I'm losing it. I'm losing it. What's wrong with your girl? Oh, for goodness sakes. Thank you for everyone that's tuning in right now. We appreciate you so much. I totally lost my spot. I found it again though. All right, let's see. We might hear some we may end up hearing the same thing twice a little bit, just for a little bit, but y'all bear with me. I got distracted.
These calls over the radio were coming for whatever was happening downtown that was unbeknownst to me at the time.
So would it be fair to say that you do recall the commentary?
Oh, wait, hang on.
Patterson in the past to other police agencies?
Objection. Irrelevant.
overruled. He may answer the question that's being posed at this
Hey,
point.
Tina Marie.
I did conduct some more investigation after my involvement in the entire mass casualty incident. When I went back to the police department afterwards, and I was able to verify that Erica Patterson had been involved in other police cases outside of Waukesha.
And specifically, could you find anything linking Miss Patterson to the defendant, Darrell Brooks?
Hearsay.
Overruled.
I did give him the finger,
I did
Noreen.
find information through our reporting system and other law enforcement sources to directly link Erica Patterson to Darrell Brooks. Yes.
And did that information also directly link Darrell Brooks to a vehicle described as a red SUV?
Yes, it did.
Gag me with a COVID test. John, I did put the troll in the other courtroom. Thank you, Barbara. Did I go too far back, you guys? We need a group shot.
Witness at this time, Your Honor.
We
All right,
need a
thank
chat.
you, Mr.
A
Brooks, you
chat
may
chocolate.
Start your cross-examination.
We need a chat chocolate, y'all.
I notice, Officer Phillips, you are in uniform this afternoon. Were you scheduled to work today?
Yes.
So it would be
Hey, Sean.
fair to say that you would be on duty as of now if you weren't giving testimony in this manner.
I would be on duty right now, yes.
So it will also be fair to ask if it would be
What's in my coffee?
fair to say that
I know,
you
right?
giving testimony right now, you're still getting paid for it.
He's such an idiot.
I am currently employed by the City of Waukesha Police Department on a working patrol shift, on a normal shift for myself, yes.
So with that,
I think it's obvious.
Would it be fair to say that you are getting paid right now as we speak?
Yes, I'm getting paid right now.
By whom?
Objection, relevance.
Sustained. Next
I love
question.
this part.
Were you subpoenaed by the plaintiff in this matter?
Can you rephrase the question?
Were you subpoenaed to testify here today by the plaintiff?
Can you explain it in another way?
Get him, Phillips.
That was pretty clear. Were you subpoenaed to testify by the plaintiff in this matter?
I was subpoenaed by the Waukesha County Prosecution's Office to testify in this matter.
And can you say that again just for the record?
I was subpoenaed by the Waukesha County Prosecution's Office in this matter.
Is the Waukesha County Prosecution's Office the plaintiff in this matter?
Objection, irrelevant.
Sustained.
Somebody come get him.
Do you know of any plaintiff in this matter?
Objection, irrelevant.
Sustained.
Hey,
Have you
Kimmy.
ever seen the plaintiff in this matter?
Objection, irrelevant.
Have you ever talked to the
Sustained.
Have you ever talked to the plaintiff in this matter?
Objection, irrelevant.
Sustained.
Yeah, he's perking
Why
up.
are you continuing to look at parties that are not asking the questions?
Objection, argumentative.
Sustained.
I noticed you're in orange today, Mr. Brooks. How do you feel?
So, in the video, it's kind of hard to hear everything that was said when you pulled over and interviewed the three individuals. Can you give a little more commentary on what was actually said?
What? Huh?
Can you clarify exactly?
What exactly were you told by the three individuals that you pulled over to interview?
I don't remember or recall exactly what all three individuals said to me, as 1078 and the screams for help by other officials over the radio were directing my attention to figure out what was also going on downtown. What I recall hearing from these individuals is that one of the individuals that was not Erica indicated that their friend had been in a fight or an altercation. So that's when I decided to pull over to try to get more information out of them. Erica, told me that nothing happened, that there was just a verbal altercation, that she wanted nothing to happen and she just wanted to leave. That's when another one of the individuals said, Erica, you need to report what happened. And she still didn't want to. And that was basically about the extent of it when I just tried to get her name as these calls over the radio were coming for whatever was happening downtown that was unbeknownst to me at the time.
Hey, John Bubba.
So would it be fair to say that you do recall the commentary of the interview?
I'm sorry. Now I will object as argumentative, Your Honor.
Sustained.
What's he mumbling?
What I would say, Mr. Brooks, is the word commentary mischaracterizes the evidence. It's argumentative.
It is
would be
obvious and
fair to
clear.
say that you do recall what was said after already saying you don't recall.
I object. It's argumentative.
Sustained. Rephrase your question.
Say that you do recall what was said after already saying you don't recall.
Hey,
I
Gringa.
object. It's argumentative.
Sustained. Rephrase your question.
Yeah, Super Trooper does not like the way Darrell. I know, honey. I know how you feel. It's all good. The way she handled this.
It would be fair to say that you responded to a fight at Frame Park possibly involving a knife. That'd be fair to say.
That is what the initial dispatch was, yes.
Was any knife recovered from that scene, or
I did not recover a knife. No.
We're so glad you're here, Miss
did you
Christine.
see anybody with a knife?
I did not see any individual with a knife.
Did you learn who reported that there was a knife involved?
I do not know the subject's names that actually reported the incident, no.
I don't think he had a job longer than 2 days. And
From your recollection, sorry. Just 1 second.
my man.
From your recollection, was Erica Patterson being cooperative with the information that she gave you?
Erica Patterson was not being cooperative with the information she was giving me, no.
Yes, substain can be removed with a little bit of shout. You might want to put some vinegar in your laundry as well, but yeah, the substains can be hard to get out. Right, John Bubba? Can you hear me while looking at the ceiling? Y'all make me so silly. Oh gosh, I needed this tonight.
Do you recall if the male individual reported any information to you?
I believe I heard a male's voice was flagged down. I don't recall what information he told me directly.
But there was 3 individuals that you interviewed at that time. Would that be fair to say?
There were 3 individuals present at the time I was flagged down, yes.
And one of them was a male. Would that be fair to say?
Correct, yes.
But you don't recall him relaying any type of information to you at that time?
I remember hearing a male's voice. I don't remember what information that specific person told me at that time.
Burns my super.
Just so we're clear on the record.
Oh.
How long did you conduct that interview? Would you say, was it a couple of minutes or?
I'd have to look directly at the squad video for an exact timestamp.
After you interviewed those 3 individuals, did you later gain any more information of the incident that you were investigating at that time?
I did not gain any further information regarding the specific fight that I was initially dispatched to, no.
No, word from our sponsor, Shout Substain Remover. Louise works every
Just
time you
so we're
get.
clear for the record, you did not talk to the plaintiff about testifying.
Objection. Say. Sustain.
Did you say vague? Were you contacted in any way by the plaintiff to testify here today?
Hey, Mel.
Objection irrelevant.
Sustained.
Do you know if there's even a plaintiff in this matter?
I was contacted by the Waukesha County District Attorney's Office to testify in this case.
Do you know if that's the plaintiff in this matter?
Generally, in a criminal case, the plaintiff would be the state of Wisconsin. That is my assumption in this case, that the plaintiff is the state of Wisconsin.
So the state of Wisconsin is the plaintiff in this matter, to your knowledge?
That would be correct, yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Oh, I love that cop.
All right, thank you. Do you have any redirect?
Hey,
Just very
Casey.
briefly, one question.
Uh-oh, Opera Chopper.
You have been asked by Mr. Brooks if you did anything to further investigate the initial fight that you were dispatched to. Do you remember that question?
Yes,
Did you in fact relay to detectives who were working on this parade incident the information you had found out about the link between Erica Patterson and Darrell Brooks?
yes.
To your knowledge, did detectives then follow up?
To my knowledge, it's detectives that followed up on any further investigation regarding the fight itself.
Thank you. Nothing else.
All right,
Good
thank
night,
you, sir. You may
Harry.
Step down.
All right. All right, let's check the chat. How we doing? I'm not done. I got 2 more witnesses I want to go. And I think they're going to be pretty quick witnesses. I know this piece of the trial because that section was so funny. I've got it in several other videos. I'm sorry, I can't help it. But I mean, he's just so easy to make fun of, right? Sub sandwich stains are a pain. Yes, they are. Oh my gosh. Y'all are good tonight. You guys are on a roll. You like butter. ESPN commentators. Put the troll in the other courtroom. I did. That troll been gone for a while. Shout, shout. Y'all got to get me out. Oh my gosh. Yes, the braids are fake. I think everybody knows that at this point. But yeah, I think Erica said that he had bought like 2 different sizes of dollar store dreads. Girl. He's wrong. He is wrong. Spelled your name wrong. Not my broke down fingers. It's okay. I'm used to being called all kinds of names. Trust me. I'm getting used to it. All right. I can't catch up with the chat, but let me go over here. Let's see the next witness. I did want to skip ahead a little bit. Nope, it goes straight into the next witness. Okay, here we go.
No, go ahead. You have your next witness.
Yes, I'd also like to move Exhibit 1C into the record, please.
Exhibit 1C is received.
Thank you.
Your objection is noted.
Can I state the grounds, if I may?
You may.
There's a point in the video that was shown, like during the interview part between the officer and the 3 individuals where,
That's not the exhibit we're talking about.
well,
We're talking about 1C, which is the annotations to the map that were made that are captured by the annotation system that the state just moved in and the court received.
okay. I didn't understand what was being referred to. I was going to bring this up, but I wanted to wait.
Sir,
because
let's take it up outside the presence of the jury later on. You'll have to remind me later. I've already received the video, which is exhibit number 6.
that video has some language in it that you made an order on. So I just want to put that on the record. Something that you ruled on.
Sir, we'll take it up outside the presence of the jury. All right, I need to keep going on. Next witness, please.
The state will call
Come on,
Kyle
man.
Edwards.
Come on, man.
All right, Mr. Edwards,
Y'all
please
trying to
make your
pull.
way to the witness stand, which is to my
Trying to
right.
be
It is
slick.
A riser. When you get to the witness stand, please remain standing, raise your right hand, and my clerk Teresa will swear you in.
Trying to be slick. Ain't gonna work. Ain't gonna work.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you, sir. Please be seated. First thing I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names for the record and then spell each.
Kyle Edwards, KYLEEDWARDS.
Thank you. Go ahead, your witness.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for being here.
Edwards, KYLEEDWARDS.
Thank you. Go ahead, your witness.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for being here. What city or town do you live in, sir?
At the time, Waukesha. Right
Okay.
now I live in Pewaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay, so back in November of 2021, you lived here in Waukesha, is that correct? Okay, and I just want to ask you very briefly, do you have any medical training, sir?
I've been in the service for 17 years, so limited combat lifesaver, just basic Army warrior tasks, that type of medical stuff.
Okay, and on November 21 of 2021, did you make plans to attend the Waukesha Christmas Parade?
Yes.
Good night, Lisa.
And were you attending that parade with any family members?
Yeah, my wife and 2 kids at the time.
Okay. Did you travel to the area where the parade was being held by car?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you remember what road you may have taken to approach the parade area?
Yeah, we lived just east of Frame Park, so we crossed the river and then came up into the downtown area using East North Street.
Okay. And was there a time when you came to the intersection of North Street and Barstow?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, at the corner of East North Street and Barstow, there was a stoplight there. So.
Okay. I'm going to put up a document that's been labeled as exhibit number 7. You get a chance to look at it on your screen first, sir.
Good night, Miss Linda. I know I came on late. I apologize.
I'm sorry, Madam Clerk, could you, there we go. Thank you. Do you see exhibit 7 on the screen in front of you, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you recognize what's shown in exhibit number 7?
I do, ma'am.
What do you see there, sir?
So that's the intersection we had stopped at. We were coming southwest on North Street, which at the time is a one-way, and stopped at the intersection of East North Street and Barstow with a gas station on our left.
Okay. Does the photograph in exhibit number 7 accurately represent that intersection to the best of your knowledge, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Move to admit and permission to publish number 7, please.
Good night, Miss Lori.
Position on that, Mr. Brooks?
Yeah, object.
Huh?
Irrelevant.
Your objection is noted. It's overruled. Exhibit 7 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
The jury need to know.
Just waiting for it to come up on the screen here for everybody to see. Okay. So the roadway is clearly marked as North Street, and the other roadway is clearly marked as Northwest Barstow Street. Do you see that, sir?
Oh.
Yes, ma'am.
And then the big square kind of on the middle right-hand side of the exhibit is the gas station, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This is actually a touch screen in front of you, so I'm going to ask you to please mark with an X where you were positioned on North Street.
Okay, we won't, Lori.
And North Street is a one-way street, is that correct, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
What's the direction of travel if you could mark it in a spot not near where we're going to need to point out other
Yeah.
things?
Yeah, so this is
Okay.
the one way.
Okay, perfect. And what about Barstow Street? Is that one-way or two-way, if you know?
I believe it's a two-way.
Okay. Did you stop at that intersection, sir? That's a controlled intersection?
Yes, we were stopped at the red light.
Okay. And you were in that left-hand lane. It's 2-lane street there? Or 3 lanes maybe?
2 or 3. There might be, it looks like there's a turn lane there. So.
Okay. And so you're stopped at the lane closest to the gas station?
That's correct.
And what happened as you're sitting there, sir?
So about the same time as we were coming up to stop at the stoplight, there was a vehicle that made a left from Barstow onto the wrong way to go to the wrong way on North Street and stopped right up against our vehicle.
Okay, could you just draw the travel, the path of travel that you just described, please?
Yeah.
What kind of vehicle was this, sir?
It was a red SUV, kind of an older model.
Do you know maker model specifically or not really?
At the time, no,
Okay.
I wouldn't be able to say. Just a red SUV. So.
Okay, and you've already indicated that's the wrong way to be going on North Street.
Correct. Ma'am.
Clearly, he regretted not wearing his lost
What did you
and
do when
found
you saw
suit.
this red SUV turning the wrong way into your path of travel?
We kind of approached that stop line at the same time. And so we were really with the other vehicle hood to hood. And again, my wife and 2 kids were in the car. And the driver of the other vehicle kind of put up their hands. I could see through the 2 windshields that the other driver put up their hands and was kind of gesturing wildly, like, again, I don't know if mouthing is the right word, but kind of frantically. It seemed upset at us that we were, either going the wrong way or. So I kind of did the same thing. Just put my hands up and just kind of was confused because we were coming up to a stoplight and a car had approached us and was hood to hood.
Okay. Did you stay parked hood to hood or what happened?
So the person in the other vehicle kind of made mention with like a knife hand to his right, my left, to go in maybe towards the gas station. But he was kind of pointing to go into the driveway of the gas station. So I looked in my rearview mirror. There was no one parked behind me at the time. And other than that vehicle having to maybe back up into the intersection, I could see that they were motioning to go into the driveway of the gas station.
Okay. Can you point out the driveway, please, for the jury?
Yeah, it's just an open driveway here.
Okay.
So I put the car in reverse, backed up maybe 5 feet, and then the vehicle drove into the gas station parking lot.
Do you know who was driving that car?
Again, windshield to windshield, we were somewhat able to identify basic features, but when the car drove into the parking lot, it kind of stopped, positioned itself at an angle, and the driver rolled down the window.
Okay.
Should I draw where they stopped?
Sure.
So the vehicle drove in and kind of stopped on a diagonal like this.
All right. And you're still stopped at the stoplight
Correct.
there?
Still stopped at the stoplight.
Okay.
So the other driver rolled down the window of their vehicle. I just, as a reaction, also rolled down the window of my. I don't know why. It's just a reaction of. So the other driver rolled down their window, maybe halfway, and stuck his head out and kind of looked back. And he said, why didn't you get out of the way? And I'm trying to get gas. And I said, well, it's a one-way.
Okay.
You're going the wrong way down the runway. Well, I'm telling you, I need to get gas. And I go, oh, okay, man. And then it was a green light, and then we proceeded. So.
Okay. Do you think you can identify the driver of that red SUV?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you see that person present in this courtroom here?
I do. Yeah.
Your Honor, I'm going to ask that Mr. Brooks be instructed to remove his mask temporarily.
Mr. Brooks, you're instructed to take off your mask temporarily and look up, please. Thank you.
So at the time, it was a lot more dark facial hair features and longer hair as well. So, because again, I would have saw through the windshield once, but then also with the window rolled down, kind of looking back. So maybe just like the forehead and then the long, massive hair.
Extension.
Sure. So different than he looks today with kind of a clean shaven or very short hairstyle
Yes,
and
ma'am.
scruff or stubble on his chin.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but you do think it was Darrell Brooks that was driving that car based on seeing him in court here today?
I do, ma'am.
Okay. Did you continue on to the parade, sir?
Yes, we did, ma'am.
Hey,
And
Thunder.
where did you and your family watch the parade?
We were literally on Broadway Street. So that was one of the streets that intersects at the 5 Points, intersects Main Street. And so it was really windy. So we wanted to kind of face away from the wind with the kids. So we were sitting on Broadway.
Okay. I'm sorry, I want to back up one step before I leave the gas station. Did it appear to you as though Mr. Brooks was alone in the car?
Yes, it did.
You only saw one person in that car
That's correct.
at that.
The objection is overruled. His answer may stand.
Did you see any black female subjects walking in the area during this time?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, now let's go back to the parade. You said you were near the 5 Points
Yes, ma'am.
and you were kind of positioned in area, try to get out of the wind, right?
Not out of the wind, but with our backs to the wind. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
It was very windy that night, right?
Yes.
Overruled.
Did you see a red SUV go through the parade as you were watching it, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you remember seeing, sir?
It was from our left. It approached to right. The direct view in front of us, there were no floats or parade participants. It was kind of a gap in the parade entries.
Okay.
And so the vehicle approached from our left. There was somebody that flew through the air, and then it exited to the right of our perspective, and that's all we saw. So because we were a little bit, maybe a row or two back from the front of the parade, we didn't have a long view of it coming and it leaving. It was kind of an enter the frame of reference and then exit pretty quickly.
Okay. But you did unfortunately see a person flying through the air?
Yes, ma'am.
Could you tell anything about the person as far as what group or unit they were with? If you know, if you don't know, that's okay.
No, it was just dark clothing.
Okay.
The objection is overruled. His answer may stand.
At that point, sir, near that 5 Points intersection, did you hear the horn of the SUV honking as it came through that intersection?
No, ma'am.
Okay. What did you do next?
We folded up our two kids in the chair, in the folding parade, lawn chair, and then got them back to the vehicle pretty quickly.
Okay.
And then my wife went to drive the kids home, and then I went back to help out with the craziness. So,
Okay. Why'd you go back to help?
it was just a reaction. I think I'll give credit to my wife. She handed me a couple diapers and a bottle of water and said, you got to go back. So we were right there.
Okay.
So we went back.
And again, you have some limited first aid training, or perhaps more than basic training. You're have some good knowledge from your service in the armed. Mr. Brooks may have some questions.
Yes.
Mr. Brooks,
I'm
oh,
sorry. Yep.
Candy corn has been
Thank you.
ruined for my Halloween.
Could I please ask the clerk to make a screenshot and mark it as 1D, and then I would move to admit.
And Christine's over here eating, and they made him remove his mask.
Yes.
actually it will be 7A.
Thank you.
So that will be marked as 7A. Mr. Brooks, any position on that?
Yeah, I object to the relevancy of it. This was on the screen right now. We talking about this?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't see the relevance of this.
Your objection is noted. It's overruled. The court receives Exhibit 7A. Do you have any questions for this witness?
Yes, I do.
Ooh, hot fries. I haven't had those in forever.
So you have a written statement and the statement that you gave to Officer Barrett. Would that be fair to say?
I don't remember the name of the officer that took my statement.
Would it be fair to say that you were interviewed by an officer, a female officer?
Yes.
And would it also be fair that you have you gave a written statement to that same officer?
I think I signed the statement that she wrote.
So be fair to say that the officer wrote down what you told her.
Yes.
And do you remember the date that interview took place?
A couple days after the parade incident.
Any reason why it wouldn't have been the same day as the parade?
I would assume that they were rendering aid to the victims of the incident, and it took a while to get back to anybody that had called in with any altercations, or not altercations, but interactions.
That's
Do you
true.
recall stating in this interview that you saw the news and a picture of the male driving the said SUV?
He objects to the answers.
I believe in the statement I said that I wanted to provide a description of who I had the interaction with before I saw any picture of anybody on the news.
You ever done cabbage soup before? I need somebody to tell me about that because we need
So
to
you
have.
never stated that since the incident and before the statement that you saw the news and the picture of the male?
I guess I don't understand the question.
In your statement that the officer wrote down. Well, let me back up. Did you see a picture of the alleged defendant on the news?
Yes, but not before I provided the description to the officer.
So the description that you gave, would that be the same officer that did the interview?
I called the evening of the incident. I called the non-emergency line and provided the description at maybe 10:30 that evening of the event, and then provided the same description to the officer, a few days later.
Do you recall why you called the non-emergency line for something that would have been so big that it should have been an emergency call?
That it shouldn't have happened?
Sustained, please rephrase
He's
the
so
question,
stupid.
Mr. Brooks.
Any reason why you would call the non-emergency line?
Yeah, someone going down a wrong way on a one-way street a few minutes before the parade didn't seem like an emergency compared to what had happened at the parade.
So would it be fair to say that you were then reporting someone going down the wrong way, trying to get into the gas station at that time?
At what time?
At the time that you called the non-emergency number.
I wanted to report that I had seen someone in a red SUV going the wrong way down a one-way before the parade, and the possibility that it was connected to the red SUV that I had seen drive through the parade.
I do too. I love their accents,
So
Debbie.
that non-emergency report, as you state, would have been to make a possible connection between the two incidents?
I was just reporting what I had seen.
Duh.
So at that time, would it be fair to say you weren't sure if there was a connection?
I would say that I had a red SUV 5 feet from my hood, and then I saw a red SUV drive through the parade and wanted to, notify the police that I had seen that.
So at the time, were you sure that there was a connection?
Pretty sure, yes.
And What would have made you pretty sure?
The color of the SUV, the approximate age of the SUV, the timing between the 20 minutes of where I was in Waukesha to the 25 minutes later that I had seen the red SUV go through the parade.
Would it be
Wisconsin.
fair to just describe the SUV that made the wrong turn going into the gas station as a older model? I think that was your correct words. Is that fair?
Yes.
Yeah, he already stuffed his mask with tissue.
Is there any reason why you wouldn't be able to make the connection between the older model SUV that you saw going into the gas station and the one that you saw in the parade?
No, they were similar age. I guess older subjective. I mean, it was a similar age, the one I saw before the parade and the one I saw during the parade.
So it'd be fair to say that you weren't exactly sure.
I'm pretty sure they were the same vehicle.
You're right, Bob. He is unflappable. This
Do you
guy, he's
recall in
good.
your statement saying that you were 95% sure?
That sounds right. Yes, 95%. I would give that same percentage. Yes.
Why would you not be 100% sure if you say that you believe that they were the same vehicle?
Objection, argumentative.
Sustained. Please rephrase the question, Mr. Brooks.
I guess I'll say like what put any doubt in your head that they weren't the same vehicle?
I wasn't able to see the driver of the person going through the parade because it was moving so fast. So I guess there's a very, very small chance that the red SUV I saw beforehand happened to be a similar year, make, and model and color of the SUV that I saw go through the parade.
So you weren't exactly sure who was driving the SUV in the parade?
Correct.
Do you recall in the statement that the officer wrote down? Do you recall telling the officer that was writing the report that you're 95% sure the male you saw prior to the parade at the gas station was the one driving through the parade route?
As far as I would not be able to identify who was driving through the parade route because the vehicle was moving too fast. As far as I would not be able to identify who was driving through the parade route because the vehicle was moving too fast.
Hey, Jim.
Do you recall saying that his voice was the same?
Yes. So when the second interview had taken place, again, I wanted to provide the description to the officer, the visual description the night of. But just as I did now, I'm 95% sure that the interaction that I had prior to the parade was with you.
Who do you refer to when you say you?
Whatever your name is.
Whatever your name is. You insignificant little snit.
The alleged defendant's name?
I do, yeah.
Asked and answered. Oh, Jim, gifted a membership.
Would it be safe to assume that if you couldn't see who was driving the SUV in the parade route, that you also couldn't identify if it was the same voice?
Thank you, Jim.
The voice has nothing to do with the driver of the vehicle driving the parade. Again, It was moving too quickly. I wasn't able to identify the driver when I saw the vehicle going through the parade.
So
Voice
would
has
it
not
be
to do with
safe
it.
to assume that you got the description from the news and picture of the person that you seen on the news?
The person and the voice that I saw in the news matched who I interacted with prior to the parade.
But just so we're clear for the record, there was no way you saw who was driving the vehicle in the parade route.
Correct.
Oh, Lady T got it. Yay. Whatever your name is. You is you.
Going back to the interaction at the gas station, do you recall telling the interviewing officer that the driver of that vehicle rolled down the window to say, "I'm almost out of gas"?
Yes.
I know, right, Aquaman?
Do you recall backing your vehicle up to let the driver of that car into the gas station?
Yes.
Uh-oh, Bob's getting on the hee-hee and
Do you
kiki.
remember how far you backed up?
5 feet.
Do you remember telling the reporting officer who was writing down your statement that it was 10 feet?
5 to 10 feet.
Was it 5 feet or 10 feet?
It was enough to let the vehicle into the gas station.
So would it be safe to say that you don't recall?
It would be safe to say it's between 5 and 10 feet.
What I said before. Evil did.
After your initial non-emergency call, it was the night of the parade that you made the non-emergency call, correct?
Yes.
Do you recall how long after that you were then interviewed by law enforcement?
A few days.
Did you try to attempt to call and report again?
Yes, I think so. I think I'd called again maybe a day or two later, just because again it was when I first called the night of. They seemed to be pretty busy, so I called a day or two later just to make sure that anybody had taken down the statement that I had made the night of, and then it was a couple days later that the officer came out to interview me.
Would it be
Welcome,
fair to
making changes.
state that at that time you were still seeking to report what had happened at the gas station?
That's correct.
So you weren't seeking to report any connection between the gas station incident and what you saw in the parade route?
Objection asked and answered.
Overruled. He may answer.
I was calling to report what I had seen before the parade.
And the second reporting was before you actually were interviewed, correct? Just so we're clear for the record.
What do you mean by the second reporting?
The second time that you called to make a report about the gas station incident, that was before you ultimately were interviewed by law enforcement.
That's correct. The second call was just to make sure that they still had my name, and I didn't really file a formal report that second time. It was just a call to see that they still had my name and contact info, and they had said that an officer would be out eventually to interview.
But he had $4 from his mama.
That time, when you called to make sure that they still had your name on file, or your report about the gas station incident, at that time, had you made any connection to that incident and what you saw at the parade?
I'm going to object. We've been through this.
Sustained.
Thank
It's been
you,
asked and answered.
Sue.
Mr. Brooks, I draw your attention once again to 90611.
Noted.
Next topic, please.
Noted.
He is so dumb.
And were you subpoenaed by the state of Wisconsin to
Oh,
testify here
Lord.
today?
Here we
It
go.
was either the state or the county. I received a letter from the county.
This is his outro. That's what I like to call
Did
it.
they identify as the plaintiff in this matter?
Objection, irrelevant.
Sustained.
Do you see the state of Wisconsin in the courtroom today?
Objection, Your Honor, vague.
Sustained.
To the best of your knowledge, do you know if the state of Wisconsin is the plaintiff in this matter?
Objection, irrelevant.
Sustained.
Have you ever had any interaction with the state of Wisconsin?
Objection, irrelevant.
Sustained.
Ever had a phone conversation with the state of Wisconsin?
Objection, irrelevant.
Sustained.
Do you even know the state of Wisconsin?
Same objection.
Sustained. Mr. Brooks,
And you,
new topic or I'll stop the cross-examination under 90611.
Wisconsin, was it Wisconsin versus Allen?
one second.
90611, the plaintiff's questions judge. Mo, where you been? Very good point, Mo. Thank you for your tip,
do
honey.
you recall how long approximately you were stopped at the red light during the gas station incident?
A minute or two.
Did you ever see the vehicle that went into the gas station actually get gas?
When we turned left onto Barstow, I noticed that the vehicle didn't stop for gas and was gonna either exit to go back on north, but it didn't stop at a gas pump.
Did you see the vehicle pull off from the gas station, or was it just kind of stationary parked?
I can't say what the vehicle did because I was already at that point out of view. I just know that it had not gone to one of the gas pumps.
Louis said, oh, threw in some new ones.
No further questions.
A few extra questions there.
No, Your Honor.
If I had a
Thank
nickel
you,
for every
sir.
time he
You
said
missed it,
fair to
though.
say. You're so right, Super Kelly. Debbie objects that all his questions are dumb. You have, oh my gosh. John, I can't even read your.
Statement call its next witness, please.
The jury does have a right to know, Tim. All right, we got one more witness. He might have been getting somewhere, but he probably forgot and lost track. He didn't have a GPS. Oh, lordy lord. Yeah, this is the female witness. Oh. He heard Zyke say that once and ran with it. That's so true. That's so true, Neo. Okay, so while we're waiting tomorrow morning, guys, we're going to be doing the interrogation together. Where'd he go? Where's Waldo? Where's Waldo? Where's he at? He's playing hide and seek with Sarah. He's in the box, not the suitcase. There he is. There he is. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. What's up, Mo? Remember when he opened the door to Mom's BNs? You know, Mo, that's like my favorite video of all time. And of course, it's one of my videos that I did, but
Good afternoon. If you
we have a
would
great
please
video
make
on that.
Your way to the witness stand.
Darrell
It is
derails
to my right
his
of the
own
riser.
train of thought. I
When
love
you get
that.
there, please raise your right hand. Remain standing, raise your right hand, and I sent my clerk on an errand, so I will swear you in. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you are about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes. Thank you. Have a seat, please.
When you are seated, the first thing I will have you do is to state your first and last names for the record and spell each, please.
Hollyberg, HOLLYBERG.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you. Ms. Berg, thank you for your appearance here this afternoon. I'd like to ask you about the events of November 21, 2021, okay? Do you remember that afternoon, 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, what you were doing?
Yes.
What was that?
I was dropping my boyfriend's daughter, who was 5 at the time, at with her dance company on White Rock Avenue at their staging area
Okay,
to get ready for the parade.
so your boyfriend's daughter was gonna participate in the parade,
Yes.
okay? And you had to drop her off on White Rock?
Hmm.
Okay,
Was that again?
Yes.
Thank you.
and
My
then,
job to make sure the record's clear, so if you nod your head or say,
Okay.
I'll clarify. It's okay, people do it all the time.
and after you dropped her off, were you planning to attend the parade then?
Yes.
And where were you planning to watch the parade from?
Earlier that morning, we went and put our chairs and blankets on a spot on Main and Maple right on the corner.
Okay, and do you know if you were on the north side of the street or the south side of the street?
South side.
South side of the street. And do you know any businesses that were nearby that you can remember?
Yeah, we were right across from Main Street Bar and Grill.
Okay,
Main Street.
okay, Mainstream Bar and Grill?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And as you were traveling
Elaine.
to the parade after dropping off your boyfriend's daughter, did you travel along North Street?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna ask to display exhibit number 7, which has already been admitted, Your Honor.
Permission to publish exhibit 7 is granted.
Op or the BS
All right,
chopper.
so it's up on the big screens. It's also on the monitor in front of you.
Okay.
And that's actually a touch.
I was right here in the second lane. It was probably one lane too close. I drew the X.
Okay,
We can clear it and she can do it again if it's not accurate.
yeah, it's not the
So I was right
greatest.
here in the,
Okay,
oh my gosh.
in the center lane.
Yes.
Okay.
Hold on, I wonder if she, you may have clicked the arrow, which is okay. There's multiple ways to annotate. So try it again and see what comes up.
There we go.
Okay. And as you approach that intersection, do you remember if you had to stop for the stoplight there?
Yes, it had just turned red.
Okay. Did you see any cars around you on North Street?
Yes, there was a car to my left. I think it was silver. And I think there was a car on my right.
Okay. And the car on your left then would be in the lane closest to the gas station, correct?
Correct, right at the corner.
Okay, there is a gas station right there, that big box in the middle of the
Yes.
street. Okay. What do you remember happening as you sat there at the stoplight?
So I stopped at the stoplight, and I immediately saw a red SUV come from down the hill on Barstow, and it turned into North Street to go into the gas station. However, it turned on a one-way street, and it was like head to head with the car next to me
Okay,
in the first lane. And so I was right next to the silver car.
sure.
And
How about, could you draw that for us on the map?
Yeah.
The best you can, please.
Yep, so it came down here and into this first lane right here.
Okay. And that's where the silver car was parked?
Yeah.
Or stopped, I should say.
Yes, and there is a driveway to the gas station right here.
Okay,
And the silver car was blocking that driveway because it's an exit, not an enter.
okay. And so you saw the SUV go kind of hood to hood or head to head, you said,
Yes.
with the silver car.
Yeah, and I was looking, I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy is coming onto trying to get onto our one-way street. And I saw a bunch of arm flailing from
By who?
I think both vehicles, because presumably the red SUV is mad that the silver car is blocking to get into the gas station. The silver car is like, I'm not doing anything wrong. So they were both kind of upset. And then I noticed the silver car backed up to allow the red SUV to get into the gas station.
Okay. Could you see into the red SUV and see the driver of that vehicle?
When I was, before it had entered the before silver car backed up and red SUV went into the driveway, I could just see outline.
Okay.
However, after the SUV pulled in, he stopped immediately as soon as he got into the driveway
Mm-hmm.
and stuck his head out and was still doing this, like yelling at the silver car.
Gesturing and
Yes.
yelling. Could you hear what was being said?
No, I had my window up.
You had your window up. Okay, but you could, it appeared he was yelling.
Yes.
Did he appear angry to you?
Irritated.
Okay. And could you tell how many people were in that red SUV at that point? Or did you see anybody other than the driver?
I did not see anybody else.
Okay. Do you think you can identify the driver of that red SUV?
Yes.
Is that person present in the courtroom here today?
So
Yes.
true, Mo.
All right, I'm going to ask Mr. Brooks to remove his mask, Your Honor, for identification by this witness.
Oh,
Mr.
here we go.
Brooks, thank you.
Warning.
Record to reflect, he took his mask down.
My eyes.
Yes.
My eyes.
Is that the driver of the red SUV you just described for us?
Yes.
Okay. Now,
Thank you, Mo.
did you eventually go on to the parade?
Yes. So right after, 5 seconds after the SUV got in and stuck his head out, then the light turned green and I went and parked my car.
Okay.
And then met with my family. So right after, 5 seconds after the SUV got in and stuck his head out, then the light turned green and I went and parked my car.
Okay.
And then met with my family at
Okay.
the location.
Okay. And did you see a red SUV on the parade route?
Yes, about 30 minutes into getting there.
Okay. So I'm just going to slow down here a little bit, okay? You're doing a great job. Thank you. I just want to ask you now, as you're standing there at the parade, what do you remember about the first time you saw that red SUV?
So at first, so a group had just passed us. I believe it was the Catholic community group. And then there was a large gap. And so I looked to see, what's next.
Okay.
And saw a red SUV, which I originally thought was part of the parade, in the far right lane of Main Street, but it was going really fast. And I said to myself, why is this going so fast? And then it clicked as soon as it switched over to the far left lane, and then into the group of people right in front of me.
And that will be the Catholic community group?
I do believe so.
Did you see the red SUV strike any people in the Catholic community group?
Several.
Can you estimate how many?
At least 15.
Okay. And did,
oh my
I'm
goodness.
sorry to ask it this way, but did you see anybody like actually fly or roll or tumble?
Yeah, so originally it was, I heard sounds like thuds, and then it was in the air, like bowling pins.
Okay.
Oh,
Did you get a look at the driver of the vehicle as it went through the parade?
oh yeah, he's pissed.
Yeah, when I had just said it veered to the left and then struck the group of people, it was about probably 6 or 7 feet from where I was standing.
Okay.
And I saw directly through the driver's window.
What did you see?
I saw a man focused on the group ahead of him.
Is that Darrell Brooks that you saw?
Yes. And as soon as that happened, about 10 seconds after, I froze and I said to my mom, who was with me, I just saw that guy at the gas station. And it clicked that it was the same person.
You remember exactly that it was the same person?
Yes.
Okay.
That was Bruiser commenting on your comment here, John. Get him,
You
girl.
described hearing some noises that you described as thuds. Is that right?
Yes.
That noise was?
Hitting a large group of people with a vehicle.
Okay. Did you hear Mr. Brooks honking the horn on the vehicle at all?
No.
You described some driving maneuvers where you saw him going from side to side of the road. Is that correct?
Yeah, I saw it coming up Main Street in the far right lane, and I was in the far left, on the sidewalk of the far left, and it was then in the far left lane.
Okay. Were you able to estimate the speed of the vehicle at that time?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled.
Would you be able to estimate the speed?
To the best of my knowledge, I would say 20 miles per hour, perhaps.
Okay. Did you ever see the vehicle?
As many bodies as it did. I remember the brake lights, but then it continued.
Did you actually see the vehicle drive over people?
I saw it hit the group and people fly, and then there was just chaos in the street.
Okay.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't know
Had
why my
your,
thing skips.
Boyfriend's daughter already gone
Might
through?
be the law and
She
crime.
had not.
Okay. So she was back waiting to join the parade, or you?
We
did you
didn't
where she
know
was?
at the time, no. So as soon as it happened, my boyfriend leaped up to go help people, and I grabbed him. I said, no, go find her. So then he took off and had to go find her down 5 blocks.
Okay. All right, thank you, ma'am. I don't have any other questions for you.
Mr. Brooks, do you have any cross-exam for this witness?
I do. First of all, get after this.
Save it. She's not falling for it.
You stated that you saw brake lights. Would that be fair to say?
Mm-hmm.
Was that a yes?
Yes.
Thank you.
Tinted
Would it be
windows.
fair to say you would only see brake lights from a vehicle if it was attempting to stop?
Or slow.
So just so I'm clear on that, you would see brake lights on a vehicle that is attempting to slow down or stop.
Sure.
And you stated that you can estimate the speed of the vehicle.
I estimated 20 miles per hour.
Yeah, she's not having it. Look at her. She's like, whatever, dude.
And would you characterize that as extremely fast?
Yes, for the parade, yes.
Boom. Mic drop. He's so stupid. He is so stupid. Oh.
And how did you come to the conclusion of the speed?
With how quickly it went from point A to point B in my range of sight.
Oh, I'm fixing to sneeze. I'll mute.
Going back to the gas station incident, you were. I guess I would need to see the map again.
We
You
still
were-
have that available? The map? We still have the map with the markings available, or was it cleared after we captured it?
I didn't clear it. Yeah,
Okay.
could we please save that as 7B, please, Your Honor?
It will be saved as 7B.
Thank you again,
And
Mo.
admitted.
Any position on that, Mr. Brooks?
Yeah, I don't see the relevancy of the map.
You're so generous.
Directly related to her testimony, sir. It's relevant. Your objection is noted.
So
It's overruled. Exhibit 7B is received.
yeah, I don't see the relevancy of the map.
You don't see the
It's
relevancy?
directly related to her testimony, sir. It's relevant. Your objection is noted.
So
It's overruled. Exhibit 7B is received.
where were you positioned again at the stoplight?
I was in the front row in the middle lane.
Do you remember if it was a car to your right?
I think there was a car to my right.
Do you recall if the vehicle you saw going into the gas station had any tinted windows?
I do not.
Hey, Meg, did you change your
And you stated that you
thing?
were pretty sure it was only one occupant of that vehicle?
Yes, that's all I could see.
With all you can see, or are you sure that it was only one occupant?
I could see one person.
So it'd be fair to say you couldn't see any other seats in the vehicle.
I saw one person when it was head to head with the vehicle next to me, the one with the arms in the air, and then I saw one person as he stuck his head out the window once he pulled in.
Could you see the passenger seat?
I could not from
Could you
that point.
Could you see the back seats?
No.
Helen had tea with Judge Darrell last night in her dreams. Helen, you need to stop watching this trial, girl. You're as bad as me, but at least you didn't have a nightmare about Darrell. That's hilarious.
Are we done with
Aw.
that? I'd like to turn it over.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mo. Yes, and Bruiser doesn't have tea, so I have to buy the soft treats for him. So thank you so much.
Do you recall who subpoenaed you here to testify?
Yes.
You stated for the record?
Yes, I said. Oh, the state of Wisconsin District Attorney.
Do you see the state of Wisconsin present in the courtroom today?
Objection, irrelevant.
Sustained. Mr. Brooks, move on. Under 90611, I've sustained all of the objections related to this line of questioning. It's not relevant. Next topic, or I will find that the cross-examination by you is done.
So you're sustaining every question pertaining to that part of questioning, or is it for
Yes.
every testimony?
OxyClean.
It's on that topic, so you may continue if you choose another topic.
I figured that was you, Meg.
Have you ever seen the plaintiff, state of Wisconsin, before?
Right, pursuant to 90611, judge controls the order and mode of interrogation, that these questions violate sub 1, and Mr. Brooks will not be able to ask any further questions of this witness. State have any redirect?
No redirect, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You may step down.
Oh, Lordy. My goodness. 90611. Well done, sweetie heart. She did good.
Mr. Brooks, I'm not going to address that right now. I think this will be a good time to take our afternoon break. So we'll be, I need to address a couple things with the parties, but as far as the jurors are concerned, about 15 minutes for the afternoon break, give or take.
Where'd he
All
go?
rise for
Where's
the
Waldo?
jurors, please.
Where's Waldo? Yes, thank you, Judge Darrell, for shutting him up. It's like we're playing a game, you guys. Look. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Boxfort. I still need to go back to Boxfort Day and do some more clips of it. I swear. Good night, Bob Kitten. I say he only had 2 kids. Oh, I don't know. She probably didn't know. Oh, Kimmy. That is so wrong.
This has passed 3 notes to the court.
This is funny.
I review them as they come in. At times I put no response needed by the court. I initial it, date it, put the time. These will be uploaded into the file at some point. There was one particular request I do want to take up by Mr. Brooks. And that is at 1:11 p.m. he sent a note to the court indicating, I'm very emotional right now. Can I go to the other court? I responded to that at 1:20 p.m. and I said the court will address this at the next break. Clerk advised to provide a copy of this response to the parties forthwith. I believe she may have provided even the other note, a copy of the other note in my response at that time, but at a minimum, I know my response was copied and provided to the parties. I did note that I saw Mr. Brooks reviewing the papers. They were put on the corner of his table. I wrote
Aw.
down the time. It's not at my fingertips. I'll look for
We're
that.
glad to have you, Neo.
But in any
Hey,
event, I
Nakia.
did want to address that with you, Mr. Brooks. You've been in the courtroom. You've been meaningfully participating. Are you asking to go to the other courtroom?
We went back on the record. I was very emotional at that time. Still very emotional, but I'm attempting as best I can to hold it together. That does lead me to, since we are addressing certain things outside the,
Well, I'm addressing this first, sir. Are you making a request to go to the other
I'm not
courtroom?
making any requests at this time, like I just stated.
Thank you,
I'm trying my
Nakia.
best to hold everything together, considering how this day has been. I can't expect anybody know what's inside my head to know what I'm going through right now. But yeah, we'll just leave that there.
We'll just leave that
Thank
there.
you. That is noted for the record. At some point, sir, after I admitted Exhibit 6, you raised an objection, and I told you I would allow you to raise that outside the presence of the jury. Now's your opportunity to do that.
Let's talk about his appeal when this is over, y'all.
Which one would you be referring to?
Exhibit 6, sir.
Oh, the
Star
the
those.
video.
We've seen multiple videos, but yes, Exhibit 6 is a video, sir.
I think it's very clear what I was referring to in that video. The interview portion of the officer with the three individuals has language in it that you made a ruling about, pertaining to a whole different entire.
Which part of the video, sir?
The interview part. I'm gonna say it again, as I've already said it clearly enough. The
Clearly.
interview part between the officer and the three individuals.
And what specifically are you referring to? What statement, sir? I need some
Do you need
specificity
it
to
played?
that.
Do you need it played?
Mr. Brooks, you're the one making the objection. Please make your offer of proof so I can rule on it.
The offer of proof is that there's language said by Erica Patterson in that interview that can be audible, referring to another situation in another county. You made a ruling on that would not be admitted into evidence. So at the very least, that portion of the video that you've already admitted into evidence should be removed, or the whole video should be struck and removed from the record. And I'm saying that because of the ruling that you made, the judicial determination that you made, Your Honor.
Let me turn to the state attorney Opper. I don't specifically recall. If I need to review it on a break, maybe I will, but do you have any idea what this is referring to?
I do not, Your Honor. I did not hear anything in that recording that would violate your previous orders.
I object to that. It's very clear if the video was played that you can hear language said in that portion of the video that you clearly ruled on.
I'll review it at a later point in time. The state will need to just file that clip on a flash drive so I can review that in chambers. From my perspective, even if there were to be something, it was not offered for the truth of the matter asserted. This was to provide an account of what the officer was experiencing, but I'll review it. If there is something in there, I certainly can. It doesn't change the fact that the video itself is admissible. It might have an impact on whether it's played again for the jury, at least at that particular point. But again, I didn't personally catch that, but there was a lot going on in that video at that time, a lot of audio. There's clearly, in addition to the audio from the squad, you can hear the radio. So I will need to review it again. Mr. Brooks, I'd appreciate if you not roll your eyes at me. There was a lot going on in that video. I don't think anyone in this courtroom would disagree with me. What I'm telling you, I'm giving you the opportunity to raise the issue since you essentially didn't. Well, let me state it this way. You raised it when you thought it was appropriate. I told you I'd take it up outside the presence of the jury. That's what I'm giving you the opportunity to do. What I'm telling you is I'm not going to make a ruling specifically because I need to watch the video. And so I don't think that's something you should be rolling your eyes at. That's proper for this court. It would be something that if I were to just give my ruling right now, it would be something that someone could look at later on and say, well, you just admitted on the record, you didn't hear it yourself. So what I'm telling you, sir, is I'm going to take the time, not now during the trial, but on a break when I can look at it in chambers and keep a careful ear out for what you said. And then I'll come back and make my ruling. So that's giving deference to your request. So I don't think it warrants you rolling your eyes at me.
I wasn't rolling my eyes to you about
So
that.
with that, we're on recess. 15 minutes, everyone. The court's.
Your Honor.
Wait a minute, Your Honor. Look, he's still talking. I love it. Okay, first of all, we have a puppy chihuahua. Oh my God, Christine. Oh, I love puppy breath. Oh, I love the little bubbles. You got to send me pictures. Guys, listen, I really want to start a second channel of people's cute little pet things that they do. And I'll give you credit and everything in there when I run it. I got to do compilations and whatnot. So if y'all, my email address, it's in, if you go on my main page of my channel, it's in my about section. So if you would please email me videos and pictures and clips of your babies, and make sure I know who you are, like what your chat name is, so that when I put them up, I can give you guys credit and stuff for them. All right. And I post a lot of the stuff on my community tab as well, too. So when you go on my main page, you can go in the community tab. I want to go back before we start. I do want to talk about this discussion that Mo was having about the appeal. And I want to first thank Penny earlier for her chat, her super chat. Thank you, honey. And I want to once again welcome Bethany Jean, and Crystal Corbett as new members. And I want to say, John Perlman, your comment about the tattoo on his booty is freaking hilarious. And Bob Kitten's follow-up was hilarious as well. But I could not put that up. So I checked to talk about it later. Harry, I do want to talk about, or I do want to hear more about what's going on over there in Sydney with the school and it sounds to me like there was possibly some kind of something going on between two teachers, or maybe there was somebody that was obsessed with another teacher, or, two employees, co-workers, something going on. So we'll have to check into that. Thank you, Jim, for gifting a membership to someone. And, oh, I already forgot who got it. I know y'all told me, and I already forgot. Lady T, was that who got it? Whatever your name is. Oh my God. Oh yeah. I love that guy. All right. And Mo, thank you again. Oh my gosh. You're so generous, Mo, for all your super chats tonight. You're so sweet. All right. So let's go back down here. So Mo says, I've been monitoring I've been monitoring the progress of his appeal. There are indications that his filings may be denied with prejudice based on affirmed competency. Well, I think so, yeah. I think so too. He has filed for an appeal that he was insane, and pre-sentencing already backed the fact that he was competent by not only the state but also DB himself. We really do think it's going to get thrown out, but it's like it's taken so long. I guess because we're all just kind of sitting on pins and needles, waiting on it. You know what I mean? Mo said, "Remember, he's leaning this not being a real court." Oh yeah, yeah, he's leaning towards this not being a real court. Yeah, I get what you mean. No, because we ain't got no subject matter jurisdiction. Really, that that's craziness. Patrick earlier said, "I know people think that Darrell was too lenient with him, but we're not lawyers or court officials. I'm reliably informed that she protected the record, making it difficult for an appeal to be successful." I 100% agree with you, Patrick. Super Trooper is, if you're still here, you're going to be hitting the roof on that one. I know Super Trooper is not a fan of Darrell. And here we say to each his own on that. But yeah. Green says, I read his appellate counsel has filed plenty of no merit reports in his career, which is the best result. Cool. Can you imagine how long it's going to take them to go through those transcripts, Sharon? Oh my gosh. Bob wants his appeal to be on. I bet if it went into appeal, I don't know. Like, what would, like, another 30 days of a trial with him? I don't know. You think they'd show it? I don't think they'd show it to us if it was an appeal. I don't know. I guess they would. Okay. Oh, yep. No, glad you joined us here. No merit, Kimmy. That means that there's no relevancy. it's not gonna fly, basically. Carrie, no one. Okay. Super Trooper. Okay, let me see. Carrie, no, I think she did an okay job. Okay, so you do like her a little bit. Okay. But some things she'd let get by, like that stupid grounds and talking to the police officers that way. I agree with you. I think she was just leaning way far on the side of caution, and I don't know, like I would love to sit in a room full of seasoned judges and hear, like, if we had a documentary and hear their take on how she did and how she handled, like, each of the different things that went on through the trial, not just an overall, but like to sit there and somebody really go through and go, yeah, she did this way because of this, or I like the way she did this, or I didn't like the way she did. You know what I mean? I think that would be really cool. I'd watch that documentary. Hey, Mama Bear, I went live like 2 hours ago, babe. But you know what? I didn't give any notice, so I do apologize. His hearing's supposed to go forward next week, which is next Tuesday. Oh, and by the way, when I close the stream out, you guys are going to be redirected to tomorrow's live stream. So make sure you click that reminder button on it. Yeah, so the 31st, which is a Tuesday morning, we are going to be there. And if they don't show it, we'll still have something we can watch together, but we're doing something that morning. And then we'll kind of, like, if they go live, we can go into it. You know what I mean? I know, Christine. I was going through something the other day. I was going through a video, or I was responding to somebody's stuff, and I saw some comments from Steve, and I was just like, oh my gosh. Oh, thank you, Mama Bear. Frankie just whined hello. Okay, here we go. Patrick says, appeals aren't decided on evidence. They're decided on assignments of error. That the court erred erred in its decision, whether pre-trial or during the trial. That something came in that shouldn't have. Right. Okay. Yeah. So like that everything, all the T's were crossed and the I's were dotted, right? I'm with you on that. Okay. And I just don't see how any of I don't see how he didn't have a leg to stand on. There's just no way, you guys. Yeah, that's true. I don't think we should be able to put these victims through another trial. That appellate attorney has to read everything that was said and done. Can you imagine having to do that? The nightmares. Ugh. Mo says, I'm not a fan of Drew's principles, but her handling of this case, I'd send her 40 cases of Pinot. I'm sorry. Pinot Noir. And a 365 days spa day. You know what? You know how they said that she had to donate all the gifts that were sent to her? Somebody got some good stuff from that. Let's at least hope Teresa, her assistant, got something. And how about Miss, is it Miss Cousy? What was her name? The one that did all the videos? Let's hope that somebody got something out of it. Steve passed away, Lady T. He passed away earlier this month. But assignments of error are only successful if it's determined that the error would have essentially produced a different outcome or if the legal rights were well and truly violated. Patrick, you sound like somebody that we need on our panel. You know this stuff. See, I'm not an attorney and I don't try to be one. So it's good when I get these comments so I can kind of get what the real deal is. Too much evidence. Videos every step of the way. Yeah, you're right. But that's where he was coming in and saying that. Okay. We could sit here and talk back and forth all night. You guys, do y'all want to do a private stream? I don't know how I'd make it private. I guess I could put it on the community tab or something. I don't know. Because I don't want people coming in and y'all want to do something where we get on, I pull y'all up on panel and stuff and we exchange recipes for the holidays. And this is the part where the men all leave the chat. I think that would be so much fun. I make an amazing gumbo, but I'm not giving that recipe out. It's like a family secret. Miss Gussie, yes, thank you. Thank you, Mel. Well, you know what, Super Trooper? I get what you're saying on that. Like, why isn't that? But in the same sense, though, it's kind of like it's so telling to the jury, you know. Well, you don't have to have a recipe to be on here, but sangria, you want a sangria recipe? You want to be on panel, John Bubba? John Bubba, I would put you on panel in a heartbeat. But here's the thing. You can't cuss. You can't say anything that's too bad because you'll demonetize me. Can I trust you for that? I know I can trust you. I know I can trust you. I know your heart's in the right place. But I'm saying, can you withhold? I'd love to have your take. That'd be a fun panel. Because I want to hear all, because you've got some good law enforcement stuff to tell us about, don't you? And so, yeah. Be very quiet. Kerryctures Productions hosting a recipe session hunting rabbits. Y'all, okay, look, if you want to be on a panel with me, what I need you to do is I need you to email me, okay? Again, my email, if you go to the main page of my chat or the main page of my channel and you get the about section, my email is in there. Let me know what you want to talk about. And I'm going to tell you something else too. I suck at follow-up with this stuff. Y'all know how I am. I'm like squirrel, I see something, and I jump over another thing. So I have blown some people off in the past that I truly regret blowing them off and not bringing them up. Teresa, you didn't know about Steve? Yeah, he passed away. I think it was the 4th or the 6th of October. You don't know what gumbo is? Okay, so gumbo is like a, it's, I do seafood gumbo, and you start out with a roux, and you can make it spicy. I put crab and shrimp in mine. We serve it over, it's almost like a bisque, but it's a dark, and I serve it over rice. And we put lots of hot sauce in it and eat saltine crackers with it. It's so good. He can say we beep instead of bad words. Yes, he can say beep. Well, mostly it was about the law enforcement prison stuff. Well, that's what I would love for you to do that, John Bubba. Seriously. I just need to know when you have time. We need to make sure you're set up on your, get you an avatar. You don't have to have an avatar, but make sure your audio is all set up and everything. You can't find my email on my main page. If you click on the about, and in the about this channel, so like if you're at the main page and you'll see where it says community, and then it says videos live. Then you go down a little bit further, and somewhere in there it says about or something like that. Oh, you want me to censor you, John Bubba? We could do a pre-record. I love pre-records. I do, because I like to edit stuff. So, yeah, we could totally do that. We could totally do that. All I see is Twitter and Instagram and your YouTube link. Well, here, I'm going to put it in the chat right now. Here's my email address, y'all. It's alandelaineslegacy at Gmail. And Sharon sent me something earlier. I'm putting together that one of his first court appearances. I want to put that together for you guys. Are you on that you're on the same Discord that I'm on? Okay. I only do one Discord. I do BB's Discord. I'm not a big Discord person. It's not one of my favorite things. What's a bisque? Debbie, girl, where you at? Are you across the pond? Where are you located at, Debbie? You don't know what a bisque is. You never had like a lobster bisque or a crab bisque? Corn bisque? Girl, what am I going to do with you? Yes, girl, I use Old Bay. Of course I do. And you know, I use the liquid boil when I'm doing that stuff. I think it's better. Oops, let me turn that off. It ran into another stream. Brooks was right about the video, which also proves his capability. He's truly obnoxious. Yep, Carol, you're right. Cannolis. I've never tried to make cannolis. Yeah, because you know what? I don't go into Instagram every day, Audrey, but yeah, it's easier. I go into my email pretty often. I'll bring the Kool-Aid and Everclear. Oh, you want me to bring it? I'll make Jello shots for all of us. How about that? There's a place over here in Biloxi where we like to go to the casinos, and it's called Mary Mahoney's, and they have some really good seafood. Oh, you're in Arizona. No wonder. Okay, so you're not by the water. That's why. Well, if you ever go to a seafood restaurant, Debbie, you got to try gumbo. It's like a soup. It isn't on the about page. Well, son of a biscuit. Hang on just a second. Talk amongst yourselves. I want to see something about. Oh, okay. So I would think that maybe you could see this, but maybe you can't. So if you scroll down where it says description, and then there it says details, and it says for business inquiries, and then it says view email address, maybe you guys don't get that. Can y'all not see that? Is that only for YouTube? Somebody that has a YouTube channel, maybe? Look, I'm going to screen share with y'all. All right, so here's the main page of my channel, right? So if you look over here in the about, and you scroll down past the description, and it says detail, maybe only people that have set up their monetization have or access to this. Maybe that's the way it is. I don't know. So I will have to make sure I add that in here so that people can get a hold of me. I thought I had it. Okay, let me check one other thing. Hang on. Check one other thing. There it is. Okay. So below my fair use copyright disclaimer, almost every video, it's right there. Y'all see it? So that's where I was thinking of. But I do need to see if I can't get it to where you guys can see it on the main page too, though. So yeah, it should be in the comment section of every video right there. I need to make it just where it's easier to see it. Okay, so y'all don't get to see it. Okay. Chicken and sausage gumbo. I do like the chicken and sausage gumbo that Campbell's does. I like that one. Or and Progresso has a good one. Got bingo. I would love for us to do like a game one night. That'd be fun, huh? But I'd have to do it under members only, I think, y'all, because we don't want people people get weird. Maybe censor will put a pain, but it'll be a pain, but well, I mean, you know, there may be ways for me to censor you, John Bubba, that still comes out the way you want it to. See, I can do some things with some editing. I know, guys, it's getting late. We need to get off here. We've been on for almost 2.5 hours. You guys have a blessed evening. And don't forget to be here in the morning, 11 a.m. We are going to, it's going to be a long one. It's a 5-hour thing, but I don't know if we're going to go all 5 hours. We're going to see if we need to break it down into a couple, sections, because that's a long time to sit here and listen. So you guys have a great night. Have a blessed weekend. Be safe. Love you guys. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye, y'all.